Hello and welcome. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Tonight,
golden year of 50 years of independence, Okah was procured by some Nigerians to assassinate me.
the president drops a bombshell at the flag-off of his presidential campaign in Lagos, says MEND leader Henry Okah was paid to assassinate him. APC shifts from rally ground to holding campaign walks and conferences. Civil society groups demand more action from INEC, want the body to prosecute electoral offenders and those who make unguarded utterances. And French Interior Minister says no direct link between shooting of policemen south of Paris and magazine attack.
On Business News tonight, the World Bank asks Nigeria to rebuild fiscal buffers to support economic growth.
And on Sports News tonight, history beckons as the Confederation of African Football, CAF, announced the continent's best footballer in 2014.
Nobody saw the salvo coming, but the president was not prepared to hold back as he dropped what appears to be a bombshell today, alleging a failed assassination attempt on his life. He was addressing a mammoth crowd at the flag-off of the PDP presidential campaign here in Lagos. President Goodluck Jonathan told the huge crowd of party leaders, supporters and various groups in attendance that the convicted leader of the movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta MEND was paid to assassinate him in 2010. He also accused some former leaders of not funding the military since the takeover of government by the military in 1983. He replied his critics, who accused him of not being firm, saying he cannot run a jungle government. The event at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos also saw the handing over of the People's Democratic Party flags to some governorship candidates.
I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck. Oh.
Massive crowd and party supporters all gather at the historic Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria for the flag-off of the PDP presidential campaign. One after the other, party leaders took turn to tell the country why the PDP is the party to beat.
In 16 years, we have developed, we have grown to be a formidable, respectable, responsible political party.
The role of the youth in nation building cannot be overemphasized. The PDP believe it has done well in the areas of youth employment and sports development. A former Super Eagle says he can attest to this.
On behalf of the youth, I am here to speak for the youth. This is our time. This is time for the youth to stand up and be counted. His Excellency, our President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has done so well.
And to the reason for the mammoth crowd at the flag-off, the man of the moment, President Goodluck Jonathan, as he speaks so passionately about issues bordering on insecurity, corruption, and his focus-driven projects and programs.
Those who say they want to take power over from PDP have been telling a lot of lies. They have hired people from all over the world, and those of you in the social media telling all kinds of lies. And somebody who wakes up and telling young people of 23 years old that he wants to fight insecurity, ask him, when he was the head of government, did he buy one rifle for a Nigerian soldier? These people did not buy anything for the Nigerian soldiers. They refuse to equip them, everything dead, no attack helicopters, no nothing. Any country that does not obey rule of law is a jungle. Any country in this world that does not obey rule of law is a jungle. Do you want Nigeria to be a jungle society? They said to be strong is to jail people indiscriminately. 300 years. For 300 years. Is that where you want to go? A country is like an industry. It must be managed properly by people who have gray and white matters upstairs. they say we are not focused, we are not planning, but our economy now becomes the biggest in Africa. It was not the biggest in Africa. Without plan, can your economy become the biggest in Africa?
And then came this bombshell. The president says that MEND leader Henry Okah was paid to assassinate him in 2010.
Okah is in a South African prison because 1st October 2010, when we were to celebrate our independence, our golden year of 50 years of independence, Okah was procured by some Nigerians to assassinate me. And Okah bombed Abuja. The attempt was to assassinate me, but intelligence investigation from South African intelligence system and Nigerian intelligence system wrote him in that plan to assassinate me, and it's now in South Africa, and they say men dump Jonathan. Okah that wanted to assassinate Jonathan, will he support Jonathan? And I'm told that Okah is supporting some people.
The stage is finally set for a season of canvassing for votes, just as the presidential train will be making their next stop in Enugu. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Well, the president also made a stopover at the Palace of the Oba of Lagos. But just before we get to that, the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party today kicked off what could be termed the first in a series of inter-party debates ahead of the 2015 general elections. During the debate on promoting transparency and accountability in the oil and gas sector, the APC promised to unbundle the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and pass the Petroleum Industry Bill in 1 year if voted into power. On his part, the representative of the PDP said the party will ensure the PIB is passed within the first 6 months of its tenure. Our correspondent Larry Lassisi reports.
Nigeria is Africa's largest oil producer, a resource that largely funds the country's budget. How to promote transparency and accountability in the sector formed the focus of a debate between the two major political parties in the country. The event, organized by the Center for Democracy and Development, started with both parties' agenda on the oil sector.
We need to completely unbundle the NNPC and make NNPC like other national oil companies, concentrate mainly on operation.
We will continue to fight to make sure the PIB bill goes through, because a lot of the things we're talking, complaints and challenges in the oil industry, are being addressed through the contents of that bill.
They also spoke on how they intend to check corruption in the sector.
What we are subsidizing is not the cost of production, it's the cost of corruption. You must make NNPC operate and show balance sheet like any other company.
We intend to not just unbundle, remove government's involvement in as many industries as possible, and that's why you've seen we've continued to privatize. And I believe government should not be running refineries. No, government should only regulate.
Both parties also gave timelines within which they will carry out some key reforms.
For us, we would pledge here that within the first 12 months of being in power, we shall implement a branch and root reform in the oil and gas industry. We are going to pass into law the PIB, not the one before them now, because we don't know what the contents, are. If within 1 year for being in office we do not achieve this, give us the red card. Just wait till after 4 years. Wait after 4 years, give us the red card.
We shall give bulletproof expression to the minute we come in. No, so we don't even need any 12 months. Within 6 months, you will still take.
This is just part of a series of debates that intend to help the parties focus on an issue-based campaign towards the 2015 general elections. It's also expected to help Nigerians make an informed choice when casting their votes. Lanre Lassisi, Channels Television News.
Well, the federal government has again urged Nigerians not to overheat the polity through unguarded statements capable of inciting the people. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the coordinator of the National Information Center, Mr. Mike Omeri, says the federal government is reviewing the security situation in the country with regards to the fight against the insurgency in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states. He also stated that efforts are on to restore normalcy in Baga following the recent attack on the town by militants.
The government has noted the spate of unguarded statements being made by influential Nigerians, including politicians and religious leaders, on the state of the nation, and wishes that these privileged Nigerians apply wisdom and courage to speak the truth in order to reduce perceived tension and generate goodwill and hope among Nigerians. We believe that the unity of purpose so far exhibited by Nigerians in the fight against insurgency must be sustained by all, irrespective of political persuasions, religious beliefs, and ideological positions. Our country means more to us, therefore we should be patriotic enough to stand by it all the time in terms of our utterances and the labor we put into the kind of things we do daily. On the situation in Baga, while confirming the presence of Boko Haram terrorists in some locations in Yobe, Adamawa and Borno states, we wish to inform you that the situation in Baga is gradually improving since the last attack on the town. Security forces are working hard to ensure the full liberation of the strategic town and other places close to it.
Coordinator of the National Information Center, Mr. Mike Omeri. In part 2, after the break, Borno State Governor visits residents of Baga town who fled following Boko Haram attacks. That's in a moment. Do join us again.